This is the video that will describe how to put a matrix into the graphing calculator. We're going to use the second button and this x to the -1, which is the inverse button, but notice that that really means matrix. That's going to bring your matrix window up. I'm going to arrow over to the edit menu, and I can arrow down to whatever matrix I want to put in. And at this point, I'm going to put in matrix A. So I'm going to press enter. And for matrix A, let's do a 2 by 2 matrix. So I'm going to change the dimensions. I have to do that first. And then I can press enter, and then I'll have 4 numbers that I can enter here. They're all going to be zeros. So we're just going to go change all of them. 3, 1, 1, and 2. Okay, so there's matrix A. Now, in order to enter matrix B, I have to use the second button again and go back to matrix. And then I'm going to arrow over to the edit and arrow down to B, press enter. You could actually press the number 2, like 1 or 2, to make it go. Let's see, we're going to enter in a 2 by 1. So 2 by 1. And then I'm going to go down and I'm going to put in 15 and 10. Now, if these are 2 different dimensions, then I will not be able to add these matrices. If they are a 2 by 2 and a 2 by 1, I should be able to multiply them because their columns, the number of columns in the first, are equal to the number of columns in the second. I'm talking about matrix A is the first, matrix B is the second. Okay, let's do this first. Second button, quit, right there, because for some reason the matrix function wants to keep you in edit mode, and we want to get out of edit mode so we can actually use these matrices. So now I'm going to go back to second matrix again. I'm going to stay on names this time, and since I'm already selected on the A right there, see how I'm selected on A, then I'm going to press enter. And that's going to put A into my screen where I can do addition and subtraction. So let's just add, because we know it's not going to work because they're 2 different dimensions. So I'm going to go back to the matrix, go down to B, press B, and now I have A plus B, press enter. And dimension mismatch is an error that you get if the dimensions are not right, so that you can add, subtract, multiply, and so on. Okay, so let's go ahead and try multiplying these. We know that'll work because the columns are equal to the number of rows. So let's go back and go second matrix A times, now you don't really have to put the multiplication sign in there, matrix, and B, press enter, and then press enter again so I can see the error, the answer, and there I get 55 and 35. So again, if it's a 2 by 2 times a 2 by 1, then the answer is going to be a 2 by 1 because it's those numbers on the outside, the rows of the first and the columns of the second. Okay, let's go ahead and clear this. Now, the reason why I had you put in these 2 matrices is that they're actually numbers from a set of linear equations where their system, and we want to find their intersection point where these 2 lines cross. And if you go back to the previous video, you'll see how we worked it out. And now we're going to actually put it in the calculator. So in this case, we are using the matrix equation, and that means that we have to use A inverse B, which if I go back to my matrix and I pull A, that's just A. Okay, I haven't done the inverse portion of it yet. Okay, now if I wanted just to find the inverse of A and to know what that matrix is, I could just press enter and it would give me the inverse. Okay, but that's not going to give me the intersection point between these 2 lines. So let's clear that. We're going to do A inverse B this time. So again, I'm going to do A inverse, Notice when I hit the inverse button, I'm not using second at that point. I'm only using the inverse button by itself. Okay, so then I'm going to A inverse B, A inverse times B, because remember the A is being put over on the other side of the equal sign of the equation, so it's being multiplied times B. Okay, so I need to go get my B. There you go. Now all I have to do is just press enter, and I should get the same answer that we had last time, which is 4, 3. Now you're going to write it 4, 3. If you, it's not really correct if you write it in the matrix. If you're trying to solve the system of equations and you want to find the point of intersection, it's a point. So you need to write parentheses 4, 3 parentheses. Okay, that's it for this video.